some Republicans think, oh, we got a clever trick. Here's what we're going to do. You know, the parks are closed because we shut down the government. We're going to turn around and blame the Democrats for shutting down the government. And then what we're going to say is, here, we got a piecemeal legislation that only opens up the things that we like. So it continues to close the EPA so that our donors can continue to pollute, et cetera, et cetera. But we're going to reopen certain things like the World War II memorial. Well, the Democrats say, no, we're not going to do that. You have to reopen the whole government. This is nonsense. We're not going to sit here and debate one by one. Should we reopen that branch of the government and then that branch and then that branch? No, that's ridiculous. You have to fund the continuing resolution, right? So the Republicans think that they're clever. So they grabbed a bunch of World War II veterans. They go down to the World War II memorial, and then they start yelling at a park ranger. You're thinking, come on, that can't be true. Well, we have it on tape. This is Representative Randy Neugebauer from Texas.
How do you look at them and say, how do you deny them access? I don't get it.
It's difficult.
Well, it should be difficult.
It is difficult. I'm sorry, sir.
Park Service should be ashamed of themselves.
I'm not ashamed.
Well, you should be.
I'm not in terms of it being a no-cost memorial. It doesn't cost any money for people to come in here.
Mr. Reed.
This woman is doing her job just like me. I'm a 30-year federal veteran. I'm out of work.
Well, the reason you are is Mr. Reed is...
No, it's because the government won't do its job and pass a budget.
They passed appropriations.
I love that they stood up to him. But the gall of that congressman to come and yell at that park ranger, you're the one who shut down the government. You're the one who told her to keep the people out of the park. And then you come and you're like, how dare you keep people out of the park? She's like, you told me to. What do you want me to do? That's ridiculous. I mean, God, they got such chutzpah to shut it down, and then they come and yell at people for carrying out their orders. It's unreal. Who could be that hypocritical? That ridiculous? Oh, you guessed it. Here comes Louis. Okay. Now, Democratic Senator McCaskill came in and said, you guys are playing politics on the back of veterans. So here comes Louis Gohmert. He's going to lose it over that. Let's watch.
And my heart breaks for somebody with the ignorance of Claire McCaskill. Having served in the Army, active duty 78 to 82, having been spit at in uniform, having been ordered not to wear my uniform off post because of the threats to people in uniform. I understand. I've stood with families when there was no camera anywhere inside, anywhere, with just a handful of people.
He's actually stood with veteran families when there were no cameras around? Wow, you ought to get a prize for that, Louis. So the whole idea is us playing politics with veterans? I'm going to get to Louis Gohmert's voting record in a second on veterans. But let's hear him out one more time.
She sees veterans and thinks politics. Some of us see veterans and our heart breaks and rejoices for the sacrifice they were willing to make. I will go anywhere, anytime a veteran needs me, and I can get there to help. And I've done it my whole life. It's who I am. I'm just sorry Claire McCaskill doesn't have enough knowledge about the patriotism that lies in some of us.
All right, so first of all, here's how you can help those World War II veterans. You could reopen the government, in which case they can go to any park they like, including the World War II memorial. But of course, Louis Gohmert doesn't want to do that. Number two, he said a bunch of us came running when they heard that the veterans were going there. I didn't know a camera would be there. And I didn't care. Come on, Louis. That's awesome. Really? You're running from park to park because people can't get in? Or perhaps somebody set this up with a number of World War II veterans going at the same time as a number of House Republican congressmen. Come on. How stupid do you think we are? As stupid as you? Oh, we went running. Oh, golly gee, were there cameras there? I really respect the veterans. I can't believe Claire McCaskill just thinks it's about politics. Really? So you respect the veterans? Interesting. So then why did you not vote on terminating the Home Affordable Modification Program? Now that's a program that would have helped veterans stay in their homes. It's a very important program. I mean, if you care about them, what do you want them to be, homeless? Conveniently, you weren't there for that vote. Okay, you could say, hey, you know what? You just missed the vote. It happens from time to time. Okay, well then why did you vote no on continuing appropriations for veterans to get the funding that they're supposed to get? Why did you vote no on the Seniors Protection Act, which also affects veterans and affects their funding? I thought you really cared about them. Okay, interesting. Well, you can say, all right, well, those are just 3 examples. I got more. Actually, there's a ton of these. I'm just going to give you two more. There was the GI Bill expansion and other domestic provisions. Now, that's about GIs. That's unquestionably about veterans. Guess which way Louis Gohmert voted? He voted no. When there's a camera around, Louis Gohmert, oh, he rejoices in the sacrifice they've given to our country. Oh, he loves those guys. When they're voting on funding, Louis is nowhere to be found for those same veterans. One more, housing foreclosure assistance programs. Gohmert votes no. You want help in staying in your home? You fought for our country. You might have lost a limb. Some of you lost your lives. Your families might be getting kicked out of their house. You might be getting kicked out of your house. I don't give a damn. My banker friends are going to make an extra buck off your back. I vote no. And McCaskill doesn't care about veterans? Louis Gohmert uses them as basically a political prop. And so do the rest of these ridiculous Republican congressmen, going there, wasting the veterans' time, and then yelling at park rangers who they ordered to shut down the park. I would ask if they have no shame, but we already know the answer to that.